from leading multi-geography teams at Barclays and now driving innovation in financial crime compliance, Mr. Syam Chintapenta.
I have seen transformation from data-dependent organizations to data-driven organization to now data-led organization.
Hearing how you navigated that initial chaos really illustrates the mix of strategy and human empathy.
You have to ensure you have the key roles, which are like architects, business analysts, or designers, part of your organization, who create the intellectual property which belongs.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to FaceTime with Leaders, powered by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. I'm your host, Sunny Pancholi, and today we are diving into a world where technology isn't just about speed or scale, but about trust, compliance, and the invisible rails that keep the global banking system running smoothly. Our guest today is someone who has spent nearly 3 decades building and delivering mission-critical technology for some of the world's largest banks across operations, compliance, finance, and customer experience. From leading multi-geography teams at Barclays and Standard Chartered to shaping compliance solutions at iFlex, and now driving innovation in financial crime compliance at Facctum, Mr. Syam Chintapenta has seen it all: growth, crisis, transformation, and reinvention. He has delivered large-scale data warehouses, designed cutting-edge KYC and AML platforms, set up offshore delivery centers from scratch, and steered global programs across the US, UK, Singapore, and India. Today, as Chief Development Officer at Facctum, he is building next-gen products in the sanction screening space to fight financial crime at scale. Mr. Syam, welcome to the show, and how are you feeling today, sir?
I'm feeling good, Sunny. Thanks a lot for long introduction. It brings some memories back to me. Thank you very much.
So looking forward to a great conversation, sir.
Thank you. Same here.
Right. So to start with, Mr. Syam, your resume reads like a masterclass in building banking technology. But you know, every resume hides a story. So can you take us back to the very beginning, maybe one or two defining moments that set you on this path? Or perhaps a challenge that humbled you, or a decision you made early on that still guides you today?
Thanks, Sunny, for this question. Makes me more comfortable with the easy to answer question. As I said, I started my career long back in 1997. So in early days, fresh out of college, I joined a multinational company. I used to be still behaving like a college kid. One of my senior gave me one advice there. I used to think smart. I think I'm still smart enough now. Working so long in the industry, surviving for 3 decades, close to 3 decades. So the advice I got that time is twofold. One, he said, you need to have curiosity on what you do. Second, you need to look around. It's not just what you do as an individual, but what team does for the outcome or the success of a program or a project. That's still in my mind. Whenever I do something, I think why I'm doing it, who is going to benefit out of it, who all are going to be part of this journey, how we go together to make a success of this program. Similar to the relay race, right? If somebody has to go relay race, all 4 people have to be in synchronization to ensure they win the race together. Not like one person running fast doesn't make them win the race. The second thing why it created interest for me in working in either data space or the banking domain is, I started my career with one of the tier 1 banks, large data warehousing program in production support. Remember those days, no internet, no Google, only access what we have is printed manuals and seniors what we have to guide you and coach us to fulfill the job what we are expected to do. So during those days, I did make one mistake in production that taught me how to recover a job in a production incident, how to recover from tape backups, no Google, no cloud tape backup. So if I've done my job cleanly, I may not have got exposure. How to put my theory to practice. Second thing, it made me to feel how business is using data to make decisions. So that helped me to it created interest for me on the data, banking operations, and how technology influencing business decisions. I have seen transformation from data dependent organizations to data driven organization to now data led organizations. So that's what made me create interest, continue in banking and data operations. Thank you. Thanks for Sunny for this question.
That's incredible, Mr. Sham. And, it's fascinating too that how early setbacks became a turning point. And I think many listeners will resonate with the feeling of yours.
Thank you.
So, continuing our conversation, Mr. Sham, you have led some incredibly complex programs with thousands of people spread across time zones, multiple vendors, and intense regulatory scrutiny. So, when you walk into a situation like that, what's the very first thing you focus on? And how do you cut through the noise, align everyone, and set the tone for success in those early weeks?
Okay, so let me take one critical program I was involved in. It's when I moved back from UK to India to deliver a global program, which is implementing a third-party product for transaction monitoring across the globe, wherever the business is operating, with regional flavors. Each region will have their own compliance requirements, the cultural differences. Setting up a team in India to scale. This is a large program. We have to get team almost like 300 plus people to deliver that program in 18 months period. Because there are regulatory commitments made, and it's like a lot of different challenges. How we work with, for example, South Africa data center, where how you access those data centers from India. There are a lot of challenges to work with. The first thing what I have done is creating a clear operating model with RACI metrics: who is responsible, who is accountable, who should be consulted, who should be informed. The second thing is building a culture of art of delivery, which I called as accountability, clear responsibility, and transparency and trust. So remember, this is a team I'm setting up from scratch in India at that point in time. So I have to establish the trust with my counterparts in outside India, UK or ES, where we are delivering, or South Africa. The trust comes only when you start owning and delivering it. The second thing what I have done is moving into that phase-wise approach. It's not like boiling the wash and deliver everything in one go, but adopt a phase-wise approach where you learn from mistakes what you have done in earlier phases. Move into agile delivery, clear status reporting, tracking the delivery, escalation metrics, and ensure that each and everyone working with the team has clear understanding of what they're delivering. I have to work with 3 different SI partners. I have to ensure there is no overlap in what is happening from one vendor to the other vendor. Ensure that there is no overlap and conflicts arising out of it. So with that complete model, art of delivery, which I talked about, with the proper delivery mechanism, agile delivery, and having that trust with on-site team to ensure that we have the we are able to deliver successfully. Retrospective is done for the delivery what we have done. Importantly, we have delivered phase 3 and phase 4 with 0 defects. Right, that helped me to ensure delivering at scale. And the second thing is how I'm going to protect the IP, intellectual property, having proper key roles in-house, like architects or designers, business analysts. Bring your vendor partners to trust as a trusted partners, not like a body shop resources. Having right clauses for intellectual property to non-disclosure agreements, right to hire clauses to ensure that I am protecting the IP. Right. So this happened in a span of 18 to 24 months. So what we learned is, with a proper operating model, clear accountability, even global programs can be delivered with precision. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, Mr. Sham. And hearing how you navigated that initial chaos really illustrates the mix of strategy and human empathy needed at that scale. And the moment you described when the vendors were misaligned, I can feel the tension through your story. So it really shows the stakes involved in global programs.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Syam, you have built and scaled offshore delivery from scratch with a blend of firm talent and SI partners. What are the levers that separate a true capability center from a cheap resource pool? And how do you protect IP while still moving fast?
Okay, so this brings me back. Global capability centers are not low-cost locations, right? They should be seen as not seen as like actions for the capacity, but they are the part of the organization, right? So the first thing what we have to do is building an organization, not looking at cost element of it. First, decide what is the outcome you are expected. Decide what is the go-to organization structure, right? Because the organization should not be created based on the people. The organization should not say, "Oh, Shyam is good at delivering, so let me have a delivery head of delivery role. Oh, Sunny is good at customer communication. Let me have a customer success manager role there." It's not based on the people. First, you have to design a structure, decide what are the key roles in the organization, decide what is the optimal location for that role. It's not based on the cost, but based on the outcome or the impact the role will have. Then start filling the role with the people you already have. Okay, then let me say, okay, Shyam is going to play this role. Either he is ready to do that role, let Sunny play this role. Either he is ready to play that role or he will be ready with some hand holding in 3 to 6 months time. Then figure out to fill those roles based on the skill set required, not for today, but future. How good people are. Again, it's not like a filling the numbers, not like, okay, I'm taking this role off there, filling this role here. It's not like a number game. It's not the skill, it's the quality. Identify the skill set, who can be future proof, and fill the roles with the right talent. Second thing I already touched upon in my previous point, winning the trust with SA partners, treating them as extended team, bring them in to be part of your organization. However, you need to be cautious. Not everything can be shared with everyone in the organization. You need to share the information on need to know basis. What Sunny is expected to know, what Shyam is expected to know, or what Shyam should know to deliver. It's not like expected to know, but should know, right? Second thing, build a organization structure where you create a culture of openness, where people are not hesitant to ask questions or not feared of asking questions or challenge the status quo. Third is you already asked that, right? How you protect the IP. Again, I repeating what I said previously. You have to ensure you have the key roles which are like architects, business analysts, or designers, part of your organization who create the intellectual property which belongs. Go to your third parties or SA partners where you need to execute that at scale. Where you need to have people to move faster at scale, and go to vendors with a strategy, not like I need 3 people as a full stack developers or 2 people with data expertise. No, don't go with them. Tell them this is what my program is going to achieve. This is the gap I have. I need you to partner with me to deliver this. I have worked with, whenever you go with fixed scope or fixed price contracts with most of my SI partner, I got best quality people to work with me. Whereas going with a time and material saying that I need bodies of 5 people here, 3 people there, right? And the last thing, protect the IP. You need to have the role-based access controls. You need to have the non-disclosure agreements with your vendors. You need to have right to hire clauses. Not every vendor will be happy to allow their resource to be hired in the organization. You need to have that balance. What percentage of resource you can hire? In case you have to use some skill set, because when you are starting a new project with new technology, you may not have the right person in-house. So you need to rely on them, but you need to have a agreement upfront with them saying that after 18 months, I'm going to insert that person in and compensate them for whatever they need, right? With this, we build a global capability center, which is not competing with my on-site folks, but complementing them, bringing the right skill and maturing the organization to the outcome based, not based on the low cost. Thank you. Thanks, Sunny.
Impressive, Mr. Syam. That's impressive. And how you transformed what could have been just a cost center into a real capability hub. That journey really highlights the leadership needed behind the scene. And the way you described the early chaos and the near miss on IP protection, I can feel the tension there also. That makes your eventual success much more impactful.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Shyam, from Teradata to Hadoop to cloud-ready data estates, how do you decide what to rebuild, what to retire, and what to refactor? And part B of my question is, how do you tie those choices to business outcomes instead of shiny architecture designs?
Yeah. So let me talk about my own experience where we had to move away from Teradata to the latest technology stack, right? So typically, it's not that moving away from legacy platform should not be seen as following the trend, because most of the time I used to hear from my peers in other comparable organizations saying that, oh, we already started working on Snowflake, we are already working on Databricks, why your organization is not started the journey yet, right? It's not following the trend. The first of all, some of these organizations built the data estates over the years, if not years, decades, right? There's a lot of data sitting there. The first of all, my approach when we started this journey to transition from legacy platforms to be it Hadoop to cloud, the first thing you need to understand is go and sit with your business stakeholders to understand what the real problems on the ground there. Each business is unique, not one size doesn't fit all. So you need to understand within your business, you have different stakeholders to manage. Finance requirements are different from compliance requirements, different from regulatory reporting. So you need to understand what are the pain points, what they are facing, how this new technology is going to address some of these pain points, then decide on the strategy, how we are going to take the journey forward. So when it coming to three key things, right? What you re-platform, what you retire, what you refactor. So re-platform is easy decision to make. How you take them, which are like easy picks, right? Where it's similar to when you are moving houses. How you decide in new house, you know what are the problems you already have in your old house, how you are going to fix them, how you are going to have plumbing problems addressed, how you are going to have leakage problems addressed. So you know what you are going to take care in the new house. So exactly you need to ensure when re-platforming it, when I'm migrating, you need to understand how I'm going to ensure my compliance with global data protection requirements, or PCI DSS to ensure that I'm not storing credit card information, or I'm providing the data privacy, personal identifiable PIA data, right? All this you need to take care and design on the re-platform, how I'm going to ensure easy to access, right? Because I should not say that, oh, I'm building a new house, but to come into my house, you have to cross 3 doors, open 3 locks. That should not be the case for business. They have to get the access to the data quickly. Retire, you need to make a decision when you want to retire. Some of the legacy platforms may have a lot of open risks already. They're hard to fix. You cannot fix it even you want to fix it. But retiring them is going to benefit you to reduce the cost running those legacy platforms, and also ensuring that it is going to protect you by retiring them, which are open to hacking, for example. Right? It's hard to fix it. And refactor comes into picture where you can't move everything from A to B. Some of the things you have to carry, because in especially in the banking world, you have a lot of integrations built with the external world. Regulatory reporting is a good example, where you have to fit to what regulators are expecting to report on a daily basis or weekly basis or quarterly basis or annual basis. So there you need to keep continuing some of the process already built in. You can't rewrite or retransform them. Okay, so and again, I'm talking about it's good on paper, but where real complexity comes in when you start getting into the execution. That's where the approach what we have taken, work with the business stakeholders, identified pilot use cases, not POCs. I'm talking about pilot, right? It's a real use case which can be taken to production with the business stakeholder. Getting them buy into the decision making, having a working group to ensure that they are part of the decision making and what we are making. Working in agile model to making business adopt it faster, and ensure that whatever you are put on a piece of paper are validated at a quick time frame. So this is the approach what we have taken, and we are successful at least to 90% of the time. I hope it makes sense and what I spoke about.
Absolutely, Mr. Shyam, and that's incredible. Truly incredible. Uh, Great. So, all right. So we have discussed business, we have discussed strategies, we have discussed people. Now, time for some rapid fire round. Just quick questions, quick answers, whatever instinctively comes to your mind first. So, are you up for it?
Okay, sure. Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead. Anil. Thanks.
Right. So the first question is coffee or chai?
Coffee.
Okay. First thing you do when you wake up.
I pick up my mobile and check time, any messages, emails, or Teams messages or WhatsApp. Click to see is there anything I should be worried about before I start my day.
All right. Next question. Favorite city you have worked in?
Singapore.
Your go-to comfort food after a long day?
Idli sambar. I'm a South Indian.
Right. A book or movie that has influenced you the most?
I think I read a book by John Killins. It's called Good to Great.
Amazing choice. All right. Next question. A funny habit your team teases you about?
They keep teasing me process OCD. They think that I know the process in and out, and I am very obsessed with the process.
All right. Okay. That was funny. Past or future? Where would you time travel?
Past.
Okay. Three words that best describes you.
First thing is empathetic. Second is detailed oriented. People say I have a eagle's eye, and obviously process driven. So I already spoke. I have process OCD, so I always try to be process driven on person.
Mr. Shyam, that was really fun, and it's always great to see the human side behind the leader who is usually making some very serious calls.
Thank you.
So, moving ahead, Mr. Shyam, given your extensive experience in compliance and risk, we have recently seen alarming incidents across the financial sector, from fraud attempts to operational lapses. So, what do you believe are the most critical steps institutions must take to prevent such incidents? And how can leaders ensure that controls aren't just policies on paper, but living systems that teams truly follow under pressure?
Okay. I think in my view, the prevention is with the culture and the accountability, right? So most controls fail because it's not that there is a framework present. The framework is already present, but they are poorly understood by the people in the organization. Second, inconsistently applied. It's not consistently applied across different business units or different processes. And finally, they are bypassed under pressure because somebody is putting pressure on them to deliver, either regulatory pressure or delivery pressure. People tend to ignore or bypass that. Right? So the key is to make these controls work is not to make that as a back office operation. In the current world, when everything is happening in real time payment screening is happening, payments are getting settled. Even India recently launched that you have to clear checks within 4 hours. Earlier, it used to take 2 to 3 days, right? And then recently, effective October, RBI said that you have to clear checks within 4 hours, right? So when these things are coming in, the process of controls has to be embedded within the day-to-day journey of the people, what they do. It should not be seen like a back office operation where people will look at post factor, but it has to be part of the journey. Second key thing is it should not be too much elaborated. It's most of the times what I have seen in the past is when it comes to the control, people will document like hell lot of controls, 100 controls, 200 controls. But you need to identify what are the material controls which are going to have a major impact on the day-to-day process. And third key thing is how we are going to ensure you are training your people, not like one-off. You don't make them sit in a classroom, explain them these are the things you have to do, but embedding them to the day-to-day job with automated tools and technology. The technology is advanced so much, you need to have automated control. You should not expect the individual to do some step manually, validating something, then take an action. It has to be embedded with auto monitoring and auto alerting, that people get alerted real time. In fact, I want like a simple example, right? Yesterday, I was trying to do some transaction in HDFC Bank by scanning a QR code. The transaction got declined. Within 30 seconds, I got a call. Shyam, are you trying to do this transaction? Can you identify? Say that's what is the things which people should be embedding into the process by real-time monitoring and alerting. And it has to be embedded in the process. It should not be seen like a back office operations in a daily process, right? If you do that, I want to take maybe two examples, right? One example where one of the global major bank, they missed to implement the multi-factor authentication as an example, right? For one of the process is not across, it's overlooked. Again, I'm talking about under pressure, they delivered something. They missed to implement MFA for one of the journey, which resulted in authenticating the right transaction, missed in reconciliation, missed in the regulatory reporting. So they got fined a lot of. The similar thing, another bank, as I said, HDFC example, they implemented real-time alerting. It prevented fraud, and regulators appreciated them that the controls what they put in are working in, right? So again, to reiterate, the controls has to be driven by material impact, not by the quantity of the controls you implement. You need to have them automated with the real-time thing that makes you as a bank having a competitive advantage comparing with your peers. Thanks, Sunny. Thank you very much.
Mr. Shyam, it's striking how you connect culture and leadership to actual risk prevention. And that's where most policies fail. They are only effective people truly engage with them.
That's correct. I think, as I said, you need to ensure people understand the process not by training, but embedding them to their day-to-day. They should feel that it's like brushing your teeth in the morning. It's a part of your control, right? You don't go out without brushing your teeth. That's how the control should be in an organization. It has to be daily ritual, not like one-off. And that's the leadership leaders should focus on how I'm going to embed this type of culture within the people, not somebody reminding them, oh, you should have done it.
Rightly said, Mr. Shyam. So, moving ahead, you have recently been engaging with Directors Institute, which is dedicated to building stronger future-ready boards. So, what inspired you to get involved, and how has that shaped your perspective on modern governance?
So, there are two things which made me think about enrolling in this program. The first, I'm in the industry for long enough. Everything which is like a transactional. What is asked by me, I do it. Whatever complaints, regulations, the policy is already set, follow it. Second, I'm already a director for a startup where I do a lot of documents. I do a lot of filings, India filings. I sign for, but every time when I sign, even though I read through the document, there is a bug in my mind. Am I interpreting it right? Am I signing something which is I am owning to the consequence if something goes wrong? Is something missing in that filing, right? It is not a worry for me because we are using our experts to guide us, right? Because experts are guiding us, experts are preparing it. But if some comes to me, am I qualified and I'm doing the right thing or I'm doing the tick in the box? That's the first thing which made me interested. And second thing, when I looked at your Directors Institute, I attended a orientation session where the session felt that while I think I know everything, but there is a lot of gap. Second thing, I already enrolled in Director Institute and gone through some of the modules. Two things made me very excited there. The first thing is the clarity in the language, concise, clear with examples. Second, each module is very short. It makes me do the module, then I have a free time between the calls or not investing too much like 1 hour, 2 hours time, but everything is like 12 to 15 minutes or 16 minutes. I have not seen anything which is more than 15, 16 minutes. And that is followed up with a refresher or assessment. It's not testing my knowledge, whether I paid attention listening to that module clearly. And am I remembering it, what I understood, the assessment, right? So that made me feel comfortable that yes, the choice what I made is right. It is teaching me what I should know on ESG or anything, what the modules, what I'm attending through it. Second, it is making me involved with short duration, clear English language to make me understand with clear example. Third, it is making me compare with the examples what I am already doing it. It is making me think, right? I think I made a right decision enrolling in Directors Institute, and I'm looking forward for this. Thanks for the Directors Institute and Sunny for this session to speak out my mind.
Great to hear that, Mr. Syam. And thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your remarkable journey with us. From delivering banking technology across continents to building compliance platforms that protect institutions and customers alike, to mentoring the next generation of tech leaders, your story has been both inspiring and deeply insightful. And what stood out the most was how you connect governance and growth, innovation and trust, and most importantly, technology and humanity. These lessons aren't just for banking leaders, but for anyone navigating change in today's fast-paced world. So thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time today, and thanks for inviting me for this insightful session.
Thank you once again, Mr. Syam, and to our listeners. I hope today's conversation leaves you with practical insights on how strong systems and ethical leadership can turn even the toughest challenges into lasting impact. This has been FaceTime with Leaders, powered by Directors Institute, World Council of Directors. I'm your host, Sunny Pancholi, signing off for now. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and lead with purpose. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.